Hey guys, be sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram for extra content you won't see here. Click the links in the description below. Hey, what's up guys, EVRY94 back again with another action figure review. Today we're looking at the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts, the Avengers Mark 7 Iron Man with the Hall of Armor set. So as you can see through, well not through, but on the box itself, you see Mark 7 Iron Man from the first Avengers movie. We're just getting this in SH Figuarts. They've never made this suit for this line, so better late than never, I guess. And of course we get the Hall of Armor, so we're almost there. It's been quite a while. I don't remember when they started doing this. It's got to be at least just a year. I don't think it's been more than that, maybe a little bit more than a year that they started doing this Hall of Armor thing. And we're almost there, we're almost done. We only need one more after this one, so pretty exciting. Here we have the sticker of authenticity, got the new blue logo, nothing too crazy. On the back side we get lots of pictures of the Mark 7 Iron Man, different poses, and then of course we get a look at what we can create once we're done. We're only missing Mark 1 from the first movie, and then we're all done. Alright, so finally we've unleashed him out of the box, and just like the other US releases of the Hall of Armor Iron Man, they all come with a Hall of Armor piece, which is the same exact piece as you see here, nothing's different. Lights up on the sides and I think on the top over here. And that's it, so they can connect together, of course, and make the entire Hall of Armor. This is how he looks on the inside, if you guys were curious to see that. It's a little dark right now, but the light's not on. Alright, up the brightness a little bit. Anyways, this is the US release, of course, because the Japanese release just came with Iron Man only and no Hall of Armor piece. That came separately with Japan. So the US release, you can actually pick that up at BigBatToyStore.com. If they still have it in stock, check it out in the link down below. Alright, so for me, this is long awaited. I've been wanting the Mark 7 armor to be made for Figuarts for a long time. Not more than the Mark 1, but a close second for my top wanted Figuarts movie Iron Man armors, pretty much. We've gotten everything else. We got the Mark 2 and the Mark 5 and the Mark 4. They were missing a bunch. So we're only missing Mark 1, and I am stoked for when that comes out. We've yet to see any type of pre-order for it, but I can see it coming pretty soon. Anyways, I don't want to get sidetracked. Let's take a look at the figure right here. He does come with a lot of accessories, which is nice. They try to recreate several scenes from the movie, which is very cool of them to do. They didn't just throw in a Mark 7 just to slap it on to the Hall of Armor set and that's it. They gave you some playability here, some fun factor, which is nice. So let's take a look at what he comes with. Alright, so we get these two shoulder pieces. These are the two shoulder cannons that he shoots out in the movie when he's flying up towards the wormhole and he's shooting down. The Chitaris are flying down. This is not when he goes through the wormhole, but this is earlier. He shoots, they look like flares almost coming out of his shoulders, so that's a nice touch. You can recreate that scene. Then we also get the lasers. He does shoot the laser at the big giant, I forget the name of it, but the big giant monsters that were flying around, the one that the Hulk stopped. Anyways, this is the laser that he tried to break their shell with, and it did not work out for him. So you get one for each hand. Then we get two thigh pieces here. Unveils more weapons and ammunition or whatever he uses for his thighs. So interchangeable thighs pretty much. And then lastly, one of my favorites is the just a cannon or a big missile that you fire from his forearm. And actually one of these actually came very dirty right out of the box. Looks like it's dry glue, but that's literally how it came out that box. Alright, so that was the cool stuff. The next bunch of accessories is stuff we've seen a million times. So we get the long effects, the repulsor effects. Then we get the short ones right here, which go for when he hovers. And we get the longer ones for his feet. Same exact scope, nothing too crazy or different. We get the two fists on the figure itself. It's got the removable hand guard there, so it's not one per each hand. You got to remove it and put it onto each new one that you want to pose him with. And the hands include our typical normal straight hand here, just a regular relaxed open hand, and then lastly our typical peg hand where you put the repulsor effects on. Now looking onto the figure itself, very nice paint as always. I expected them to do just the same great job they've always done with Iron Man. It's their specialty. Their Iron Man Figuarts have always been the best, in my opinion. So I like the red, like the metallic shine to it. The gold came out nice. Everything's nice. It looks just like it does in the movie. So I'm happy about that. They still don't want to paint the arc reactors or give it color. That's weird. The eyes as well, they're just silver. It's the only thing that's off. But if only they would make that blue, it would be a little cooler to me. Anyways, the articulation is gonna move the head left and right here. So we get the head on the ball joint, goes like crazy, goes up, goes down. The neck, as you see, it's moving around, so the neck articulates. Good range of motion for the head entirely. Even though we get these big shoulder pieces here, you can still move it over the shoulder. Still got good range. The arms are gonna move forward and back. They go in and out. You can pop out the shoulder there a little bit. So you saw how that happened, and you can slide it in and out there, so more range. Got the hinge on the shoulder guard, the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, swivel at the wrist with a hinge, the ball joints. The diaphragm joint will swivel up here. They did a very weird thing here. I don't know why it has such a huge gap on the back, but when you bend it forward, you get a big, gigantic gap. Very ugly, horrible. Well, you know, whatever, I guess. If you want to bend him forward, have him like he's flying backwards or something, and you don't see his back, then that's cool. And then when you go the other way, you get a little bit of a gap on the front too. So very weird. You can move it up and down, you can move it around, get the lower kind of a torso articulation to get the lower waist swivel. The legs are going to move forward a lot and back. Got the drop down action for the legs, so that's cool. We got the thigh swivel. We get a double jointed knee that bends a lot. Then we get the ankles going forward and back. We got die cast feet as always. Very tight on the ankles though, so the hinge is very tight, the swivel's tight, everything's tight there. And then the toe does hinge too. Also, you do get some action on the back here. The flaps on his back do open up here. So the top flaps open up, and then we get some bottom flaps here. So we get 4 in total opening up on the back, which is a cool little feature to have. Alright, so Bandai Tamashii was not the only company this year to introduce their version of the Mark 7. Hasbro finally introduced theirs. They were also behind in that. Never released one until this year for their 10th anniversary set of Legends. And here it is. Of course, Legends always scale larger than Figuarts, so that's why he's so much bigger. But clearly the paint job is a total difference here, of course, not just the height. But the paint on the Legends one isn't nearly as good as, of course, the Figuarts version. And he does have the flaps that open it on the back just like the Figuarts version, which is pretty cool for Hasbro to do. He does have some effects that look just like the Figuarts version. Talking about the repulsor blast. But that said, he doesn't come with the cool laser hand pieces, doesn't come with the missile launcher on the forearm or the shoulder cannons, and of course the thigh pieces. So a lot more fun parts on the Figuarts version. And the absolute first company to make a 6-inch scale Mark 7 was actually Figma. So this is the Figma Mark 7. Iron Man released around the time the movie came out. So this one's been out for a while now. And here he is next to, of course, the Figuarts version. If I had to choose one here, I'm still going to lean towards Figuarts, but I do like the paint a lot better on the Figma. I like this paint a lot more. It's a nice red, very nice red. Just like it better, but he doesn't come with any of the features or pieces that Figuarts comes with, and that's what kind of matters more for me in the articulation, of course. And those wondering about being able to swap the Tony Stark head onto this guy, the peg actually is too big for the head, so it's not going to fit. And if you wanted to take the neck off, you can. It's a ball joint, but they made it super tight, and it scares me, so I'm not going to attempt it here. It just makes it, I don't know, I don't want to break it. So I'm sure somebody out there will do it to theirs, and they can do it. Up front, we got the thigh pieces, of course. Then on his arm, we got the arm cannon on his left arm, and then I attached the laser onto the right hand, just to have it on a different arm. And then of course we got these shoulder pieces on there too. So once you put the shoulder pieces on, those do flap open on the back too. It's got its own flaps, so it does still do that. Alright, we'll throw in one last comparison here. We'll get some of the other Iron Man armors to complete our Hall of Armor. So we got the Mark II right over here. So mouse will just put the Mark 7 all the way on the other side. Let's get in Mark 3, the Mark 4 armor, Mark 5 suitcase armor, and then lastly the Mark 6 armor right here. So this gives you an idea of what to look forward to once you get your entire Hall of Armor complete. Once we get Mark 1, and that's it. We got them all side by side, but without the Hall of Armor pieces, they still look good next to each other. Alright, that's going to wrap things up for this video review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. Subscribe if you have not done so already. And as always, have a great day. Bye.